There is something wrong with the children, which is a 2023 horror mystery. And yeah, it is a bit of both because uh, it reminds me a bit of early Stephen King, you know, miniseries where it had evil children or otherworldly things happening. But pretty much, a family, basically, uh, a family and another couple who are friends of the family, show up for a weekend getaway trip, longtime friends, and pretty much their two children. Uh, at one point, this family go off hiking and they find this random old rundown abandoned mine base military. I'm not sure. I forget what they said it was, but anyway, it starts to affect the children, but it doesn't affect adults. But turns out it does. So okay, we never get to see what is down there. The spoilers. We never get to see what's down there. We only get to see a green glowing light. And I'll say the acting overall is fine. The cinematography is pretty fine. It's not excellent, but it's decent. Uh, Again, the acting's okay. It's fine. The two kids were okay. Their acting was fine. They weren't really as scary. They weren't really scary to me. Um, I mean, the one guy of the couple, the two friends of the family, the one character has mental illness, so we're sort of wondering, is he even seeing what he's seeing? Also, is what he's seeing what we're seeing? And some people might not like that. This is an unreliable narrator. Oh, I don't mind that in films. I think it's a bit more interesting. Uh, Although here, not really, because you already know what's going on by the third act. And I mean, there was some awkward stuff with the one when uh, after this guy thinks he sees these two kids fall off the cliff of a pit, edge of a pit, um, and he starts to freak out, seeing stuff with them, the way they act subtly, but then also they're pretty much taunting him in a way for him to freak out, and everybody looks at him like he's nuts. Um, I did like the friendship between the two couples, the mom and dad, and then their friends. I did like that. But again, we don't even get to see what these things look like. What I mean, they're basically, I guess, lightning. But I guess they're supposed to be lightning bugs disguised as humans or something. Because it's odd. Because again, we don't never get to see that. We just see a silhouette of insect-looking praying mantis, maybe uh, creatures. Women cool if we got to see at least one practical suit. And there's not really a lot of. It's not a good number body count because only the mom, the dad gets killed off screen, I assume, because he comes back at the end. But then I'm just gonna assume he died because the boyfriend or the husband of black the black chick and the white guy, the interracial couple, pretty much because I forget their names. The interracial couple, they, but yeah, the black girl lives at the end, although it is stupid towards the end because it's like, oh, even though she killed her husband, but then he's actually still infected, or not infected, but he's replaced with this insect thing. And the two children, even though she pushed them off off the cliff or pit thing, they're still alive, and they come back like nothing. So then it's like, can you even kill these things? Like, what's the use of? It's like, can you chop their heads off, or is it? I wonder if possibly, if dismember them, decapitate them maybe, and not put them in the pit. Is it possible they actually die? Don't know. We never get to see that. We see her fight with the husband, her husband or boyfriend character, the crazy guy, and she puts a machete in his shoulder, but that doesn't really do much for him. It just, I guess, makes him sit down and then lets her go, only for a few minutes, and then she runs out, trips, falls, hits her head on the ground, slips down steps. The kids drag her off. She pushes them down the thing. Then we see, she gets. Again, the ending is just lame. It's not a downbeat ending, but at the same time, it's just pointless because we only get to see a good. Because she's gonna drive, I guess, all three of them over, but we don't see it. So the movie lacks gore for kids that are supposed to be killing adults. They only, even when the son kills his mom, that's even lame because it's just her covered in blood. I think maybe her neck is a bit sliced or something, but that's it. Also, how come well, I don't understand. I'm trying to think because they decide to, because they're alive when they decide to, plummet to their deaths, and then they come back like nothing happens. So them wondering, well, if these things can come back, can they bring back dead bodies? I would assume, because their bodies had to have been dead. Because then, for whatever is glowing down there, which brings them back as insects, but in disguised as humans, or maybe they're aliens or something. I don't know. This movie doesn't even give you answers really, and that's a bit annoying. It is a bit engaging to a degree with the adults portion, where they insult each other towards the middle act. All their secrets come out. But yeah, overall, I would say this is a pretty forgettable film, at least for me. I know probably a lot of people probably do like the film, and it is a Blumhouse film apparently. But this is one of those low budget, pretty minor, under the radar Blumhouse films. I can see it they put out. Because there wasn't really much going on. I mean, even with the silhouette of insect-looking things that we never get to see practically at all. So that sucked. Editing's fine. Characters, again, the adults portion was pretty decent handled. It shot fine. Yes, the score I was not very alright with, because there's a scene or so where the score will jump, its volume up for no reason at all when nothing is going on. It literally turned, there's a character, the black girl, she goes to leave the pit because she's trying to explain to her husband that he potentially murdered a kid, and she turns to walk away, to leave him behind, and she turns back to look at him, and the music just blares for no reason. There's no reason for that to have happened, but it does that, and then she turns around to walk out. But there was no jump scare. There was nothing scary in that scene that was happening. It was just the emotional scene, and for her to turn around and look at him, and then it just blares you with horns or whatever. I'm like, why are you doing this? You don't need that. So it kind of ruins the scene a bit. I guess it's trying to go for a Giallo or Italian horror score or whatever. I don't know. But yeah, I don't recommend this one at all. I would say pass.